Hey guys, and welcome back to my channel. So today I have a very new video for you guys, something that I have not done yet on my channel, and that is going to be how to prepare for tattoos and piercings. Now I get asked this question a lot because I do have quite a few, I mean not a lot, but I do have quite a few little modifications to my body, and a lot of people want to know, how I prepare for them, what I do to find a good shop, how to prepare myself to get ready. So I thought I would just make a whole video talking about that. I'm going to be explaining all kinds of different steps and things that I do and things that someone who is a beginner at getting body mods should do and things like that. So I hope you stay tuned for this whole video, and if you have any questions that I did not answer in this video, go ahead and leave them in a comment below and I will get back to you. For those of you who are new to my channel, I do really like to focus a lot about tattoos and piercings here. So if you want to know anything about any piercing or anything like that, make sure you check out the description box for any links, especially my tattoos and piercings playlist. That link will be down there as well, and that will take you to this big long playlist where I have a million and one different videos on piercings. So let's go ahead and get started with this video. Okay, so the first thing that I really want to cover and get out of the way is getting a tattoo or piercing. The experience and the pain will be different for everybody. Not every person has the same nerve endings, or not every person has the same pain tolerance, or some people handle pain very well, and some people handle pain not so well. So just know that everyone is different. Just because a certain piercing didn't hurt for me or a certain piercing did hurt for me, that does not necessarily mean that it's going to be the exact same for you. And every area of the body, depending on whether you're getting a tattoo or a piercing, is different. Like, your ribs may be more sensitive than your arm, or your tongue may be more sensitive than your belly button. So just kind of understand that every area of your body is different, just different nerve endings in different parts of the body. So always be aware of that.
Wanted to join us today. Can you say hi to everybody? Say hi, everybody. Yes.
So the first step that I want to recommend to everyone before you go and get a tattoo and piercing is decide what you want to get, whether it be a tattoo or whether it be a piercing. Make sure you really think about what you want, because modifications, what you do to your body, can sometimes leave permanent effects. Like when you get a tattoo, it's on your body forever unless you want to pay money to get it lasered off, which that shit is not cheap. I've never done it myself, but I've heard people who have done it and it costs an arm and a leg, so no pun intended. But yeah, definitely make sure it's something that you really want before you go and get it. Don't just jump at the, I want this tattoo, let's go get it now. Don't do that. Make sure you really sit down and you really think about what you want, because it can, leave permanent effects. Like a Monroe piercing, I will always have a little tiny scar here. My eyebrow piercing, I'll always have a tiny scar here. My tattoos will always be on my body until I die. So yeah, just always make sure it's something that you're really willing to commit to, willing to take care of, and just realizing that it is on there forever, especially if it's a tattoo. So just always kind of take those things into consideration. Another thing you want to take into consideration is, your workplace, your career, and scarring as well. If you're someone who isn't too fond of scars or anything like that, I wouldn't really recommend getting piercings or tattoos, because sometimes they do leave scars, and if you get a tattoo and you get it removed, sometimes it does leave little scars as well. So yeah, and just always make sure that your work is okay with it, depending on where you work, and your career choice. Like, you can't be a dentist and have piercings everywhere, because God forbid you have like a piercing and the ball falls off and falls into your patient's mouth. Like, you just can't do that. So make sure that your career choice will allow you to have those things. Two is to find a good shop with a reputable piercer who is licensed, they're clean, they have all their certificates, they get their health, the health examiner or whatever, I don't know what it's called, I'm like retarded right now, but they come in and they make sure everything is up to code. So make sure that they have that, and don't be afraid to ask. You can go into any shop and you can ask to see certain certificates. They can't really refuse that to you, because you're putting your body in someone else's hands. So you have every right to make sure that they're professional, licensed, clean, everything like that. And another good thing is to go online and look up reviews for that shop as well, because that can also be kind of helpful, because a lot of people go into a shop and the piercers aren't very nice. Like, they're just kind of like So just make sure that you look up reviews and see what other people's experiences were. If they have a Facebook page, if they have like a gallery or anything like that, go ahead and look on it, because that can also really help you to kind of get a feel as to what the shop is like and what the atmosphere is like as well. Once you have done those things, you've thought about what you wanted, and you found a really good shop, step 3 is it's time to prepare yourself. So the first thing to expect with a tattoo and piercing, whether it's your first one, your second one, or your 50th one, you will be nervous. That's just a natural instinct of the human body. You are going to be a little bit nervous when it comes time to get that new tattoo and piercing. I have been getting tattoos and piercings for about 2.5 years now, and I still get nervous. Like every time I go to get a new piercing or go to get a new tattoo, I'm just shaking in my boots. Like I still get nervous myself, so don't feel bad if you're nervous. It's totally normal and something that always will happen depending on, you know, the kind of person you are. Like me, I'll always get nervous. Like that'll never change. But another thing to prepare yourself is do not drink any type of alcohol or do any type of drugs before you go in and get a tattoo or piercing. For one, alcohol is a big no-no before you go and get a tattoo, because alcohol does thin out your blood, and when you get a tattoo, you will end up bleeding more and the ink will not take to your skin because you are bleeding so much because the alcohol has thinned your blood out. So don't go out to the bar with your friends and get totally shit-faced and then go and get a tattoo the next day, because it's not going to look good at all and just won't get finished. So don't do that. Same thing with drugs. Don't do that as well. Another thing is ibuprofen. Don't take too much of that before you go. If, like, say if you have a headache before you go, don't take too much, because ibuprofen can also kind of thin out the blood as well, and you don't want to bleed more than you know, should or whatever, you know what I mean? So yes, always be aware of that. Make sure to get some really good sleep the night before, because your body works well and just adapts well to the new day after you got a really good night's sleep. So make sure that you always do that. Another thing that is very, very important is to definitely make sure that you eat a good meal before you go. Eating is something that is totally crucial before you go and get a tattoo or piercing. You really want to make sure that your blood sugar is at a good spot so you're not going to pass out during the tattoo or piercing. Because whether you believe it or not, if you're getting a tattoo and you're not nervous, regardless, your body is under a lot of stress. All kinds of body modifications put stress on the body. So you want to make sure that you have a full stomach and your blood sugar is good to go for the day, because you definitely don't want to go there on an empty stomach and start getting a tattoo and then pass out and possibly, you know, mess up the tattoo or go home with an unfinished tattoo. So like me, I am someone, and I'm not afraid to admit this, I have a very nervous stomach. Like, I don't like to eat because my body is just like, nope. Even with a nervous stomach, I do still try to eat something, or I'll bring a snack with me. You can totally bring a snack as well if that'll help you, but definitely just try to eat something. And when you get there, try to bring a bottle of water or something to drink as well. It'll kind of calm you down and just keep your body nice and hydrated. Next thing is to talk and speak to your artist, and do not be afraid to be open with them. I know a lot of people are really afraid to talk with their artist and kind of tell them when something doesn't feel right. Don't do that. Please, if you see something wrong or you don't feel right, please speak up. It's very, very important. Your health is extremely important, and you don't want to damage your health, and you just don't want to risk it. So if something's wrong, like, you know, if you don't like the placement of the tattoo before he starts, or you don't like, or you changed your mind all of a sudden, please speak up. Don't just sit there and take it. If something's wrong, say, wait, I need a minute, or, you know, just kind of speak up. Don't be afraid. Just because they look weird and scary, I promise you they're not. They're really, really nice. So just speak up and they will be caring and listen to you. The other thing is, it's very normal to feel uncomfortable or a little bit of pain before you go and get a tattoo and piercing. But the number one thing to always remember, especially with piercings, is it's so fast. Like, it goes by like within a couple seconds, and no matter what, it's always bearable. You're gonna get through it okay. So just always keep that in mind as well, that, you know, it's not gonna be this excruciating pain that you're gonna die. You know, it's not gonna be anything like that. It lasts a couple seconds and it's totally bearable. With tattoos, depending on where you get them or how big they are, they may be a little bit more painful, but nothing to be too nervous about, because you'll get through it just fine. Millions of people have tattoos. You know, just always keep that in mind, that it's really not a big deal. Like, you know, people tell you, you know, it looks scary because, you know, there's needles and people's experiences. You know, don't let that affect you. Just know that you're going to be okay. Another thing that really helps is take really deep breaths. Breathe in through your nose and out through your mouth. That'll help calm your body. Other little tips and tricks that I think are pretty helpful is just kind of imagine what you're gonna look like after and how good you'll look and how good you'll feel because you got a new tattoo or piercing. That's what I always try to do. I always try to psych myself up and get really excited for, you know, my new piercing or my new tattoo. It really does help. Another thing is with tattoos, you know, if you're getting a big tattoo like this, my half sleeve, that's a pretty big tattoo, right? So, you know, you're gonna be sitting there in the chair for a long period of time. Some things that I have found helpful is bring someone to talk to or talk to your artist, you know, distract yourself. Don't focus on the pain. If you focus on the area of the pain, it's gonna hurt 10 times more than it actually does. So don't focus on it, just kind of focus on something else. You know, sing a song in your head, close your eyes and think of happy thoughts, or, you know, like I said, bring someone to talk to, play a game on your phone, you know, whatever you need to do to make you feel comfortable and calm, do that, and let your piercer know. Like if you, or your tattoo artist, like if you need, you know, a break of 5 minutes, then go ahead and tell them, and they will be totally fine with that. The last couple little tips that I have for you guys is it's always important to have support with what you want to do. If it's a lot easier to have someone tell you, oh, that'll look really good, I like that idea, that's really cool, we should go together. That'll make you feel a lot better already before you go. So it's best to have like a little support system. A lot of people say don't have anyone with you, go by yourself, and I don't really get why. I mean, I guess some people, when they bring someone, they make them feel worse, like, oh, this is gonna hurt so bad. But, you know, bring someone that you trust and bring someone that's gonna respect you and support that you're nervous and just support you through the whole thing. Like me, I really like to bring my boyfriend with me because we are both really into tattoos. He's not so much into piercings like me, but when we go and get a new tattoo together, we're like best buds. The last very important, crucial tip that I have for you guys who are getting prepared for a tattoo or piercing is never be afraid to ask questions. I have so many people coming to me asking me, is it okay if I ask them this? Is it okay if I ask them this? It is totally okay to ask your tattoo artist or your piercer questions about what they're going to be doing, because, you know, getting a tattoo or piercing is kind of a big deal. A needle is being shoved through your skin, or a needle is putting ink into your body. So it's always good to ask questions. Don't ever be afraid. Like if you're about to get a tattoo, for instance, and they put the stencil on, which is that little purple looking pen-like thing that they put on before they start tattooing, and you see something that's a little bit off, make sure you stop and ask them. Be like, why is this line there? What is this gonna look like? You know, the more questions you ask, the more you'll feel at ease with yourself, and the more that you'll understand and know about your, you know, soon to be tattoo or piercing. So those are just some tips that I use on myself and some really useful tips that I thought would help you guys as well. Okay everybody, so that's it for this tattoos and piercings and how to prepare video. I really hope you guys enjoyed. I hope it was helpful for some of you. If you did enjoy this video, be sure to thumbs up and make sure to share my video in case any of your friends have any of these kind of questions as well. I would really appreciate it. Make sure to subscribe, comment, like, share, all that good stuff. I would really appreciate it. Again, any other questions I didn't answer, go ahead and leave in the comment box down below. But until then, I'll see you guys very soon in my next video. Bye guys.